Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Circle City Conversations. My name is Alex Limontes. I am the host, and I am here with my longtime friend, attorney Jason Shartzer. Jason, thank you for joining us.
Hey, thanks. Thank you, Alex. Thanks for having me.
And Jason, like me, is an attorney who helps his clients seek justice when they've been wronged. Trial attorney, husband and a father too,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about yourself. I know a lot about you. I've known you for a long time, but maybe some of our listeners who don't know you that well, where'd you grow up and what was your early life like?
Yeah. So I grew up in Brownsburg on the west side of Indianapolis. I have two little brothers. I ended up going to Brebuff for high school. And
That's a drive.
Yeah. Yes. And it was a goal of mine to send my kids there as well when they grew up in, we live in the Geist area now, and them who went to Brebuff as well and had that same long drive to deal with. After that, went to college in New Orleans at Tulane.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Loyola. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just got back from Mardi Gras.
How many times have you been to Mardi Gras?
Well, a lot. But I started going again the last 4 years because I got into a Mardi Gras crew. So I get a ride in the parade, the costume for the diesel.
Oh, man.
And a lot of ball afterwards. That's great.
So, that's on my bucket list. I've never been.
Never?
Never, ever been to Mardi Gras or New Orleans.
What?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite places.
So I want to go down there, but I don't know if I should take 4 kids under 12 to Mardi Gras.
No, don't do that. Maybe take them to Jazz Fest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's something to see. If I wasn't in the parade, I probably wouldn't go to Mardi Gras. It just gets so crowded.
Really?
But that's a different kind of thing.
Yeah.
To be able to ride on the front versus be in the crowd.
Do you, as a personal injury lawyer now for 20 years, do you ever look around like when you're in the float, you're like, oh, that's a hazard. That's all.
The whole thing's a hazard. It's unbelievable. I wish I had a picture of it. So they have to load all that stuff that we throw on the float beforehand. And when you first get on, it's piled up 3 feet high everywhere. There's no place to walk or stand. And they make you wear a harness to like buckle in.
Yeah.
But I've never seen anybody attach it.
It's just for looks.
You see those videos of those Mardi Gras parades where somebody comes tumbling off. And,
Yeah.
It happens every year.
Yeah.
To me yet.
So, all right. So you're from Brownsburg, but you went to Tulane. How'd that happen? How'd you end up down there?
So I was going to visit schools when I was a senior in high school, and I'd been to a couple, and then that's by myself. Went to New Orleans to Tulane, and it was beautiful. It was springtime. Just walking around, I could smell like the magnolia trees,
Yeah.
But then the drinking age was 18.
Oh.
Then I was 18. That seemed like a good place to go at that time. Probably not the best reason to decide on college, but it worked out. I love New Orleans.
Yeah, well, you made it through, right?
Yeah.
And then
left after undergrad, went to Southern California for law school in San Diego. So
okay, USC?
Thomas Jefferson.
Okay. All right. So you traveled all around the country from Indiana, but you wound up back here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you take the California bar?
No. I came back to finish my last 2 classes at IU downtown.
Okay.
To the private school I went to. And then that's when I got a summer internship with Buddy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was your first
history.
Yeah.
I never went back. I did not go back to California. I just never did.
That's so funny. So that I may have told you this. I was a law clerk at Mitchell-Hearst in law school. Yeah.
And
so
friends.
Yeah. So they're very close. I was like, Bill called me in the middle of the last episode I was just doing with Nick Baker. So yeah, he's still 80 plus years old, still gets cases, works on them. Right. All right. So you started your clerkship with Yosha's office, and then this was back in the prime trying cases.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a great, the best environment I could hope for starting out, because they would let me take cases to trial that were not likely to win. So
Yeah.
what better experience I think a lot of lawyers don't get. When I hear these big firms have to send them to camps, and do, fake trials,
Right.
So I actually got to go to trial and get my ass kicked, I think 6 or 7 times in a row before I won one of those cases that wasn't supposed to win. But after that happened, I was
Yeah.
do this.
Who, do you remember any of those early on, any of those defense attorneys, someone that you remember you were like, okay, that person was good to deal with?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Who?
Let's see. When gets to Keller,
Mm-hmm.
I was a verdict I thought I was going to win. It was one of the cases that was not good. Jury was out 3 hours. The bailiff called, said the jury wants to use a calculator. It's like, all right, this is great, And he said the verdict's in, went to the courtroom. They read it. It was like $86. I was like, what do they need a calculator for? $86.
Did they tell you? Did you?
I don't know. I assume calculating the tip on their dinner or so. I can't imagine it had anything to do with the verdict. But no, there's been a number of them. Dan Whitty.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah, he's a pleasure.
Zoldifer,
Oh, yeah.
Brent Rockout.
Yeah.
Those were.
Yeah. Brett used to be in this building. He was on the 4th floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When we first moved in, actually 10 years ago in 2015, he was in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
talk about it now, huh?
He is. I think I saw him smile once in about 10 years.
Yeah.
So,
I got him a couple times. His son was a friend of mine in high school at Provence, so I was friends. So occasionally I'd show him an old picture of Amanda's son.
Yeah.
Crack a smile.
Yeah. That's funny. So was there a moment, a lot of people have a moment in their life or a point where they're like, all right, I want to become a lawyer. Mm-hmm. All right. Was there a point that you first realized you wanted to become a lawyer?
Yeah, but it was actually earlier than I thought. I didn't find out. It was Mother's Day one year, and we're at a restaurant with my mom.
Yeah.
And she brought this card that I made in elementary school. It was like, my name's Jason Shartzer. I like basketball and football. And whatever. And when I grew up, I want to be a lawyer, when I was a little kid. And I used to watch the LA Law and this law show. Even was when I was
Matlock?
Not Matlock.
You didn't?
No, love Matlock. But I guess I always wanted to do it.
Yeah. Were you, as a child, a little argumentative and disagreeable?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like with my 4 kids, they're always argumentative and disagreeable, but Jesus, if I have 4 lawyers.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I mean, no, I don't know what I would do. Yeah. So, you mentioned Buddy Yosha.
Mm-hmm.
You worked with him. Any other mentors, lawyers from those days that you remember?
Yeah. So in addition to Buddy, which I feel very fortunate to have learned how to be a lawyer from him, much like many of the other attorneys in town. It's a very strong lineage of people that he's trained that have gone on to do very well. I also had another mentor, D. Michael Bowman, who was a criminal defense lawyer, but I met him. I was renting a house when I was working for Buddy for that internship in the summer before I graduated law school. And I ended up renting from him and being friends with him, 27 years ago. And he would always talk to me throughout my whole career, still does to this day.
Yeah.
And he gives me insight and assistance. When I started my firm, I took over the space that he was in.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Started in 2 little small offices on that floor, bought all the personal property from him, month by month. And then he retired and I took over the whole space. So
that's so funny. You mentioned earlier on in your career, you took a lot of cases to trial that were probably most people wouldn't have taken a trial.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So what are some lessons that you learned early on that still guide you today?
Yeah, I think it is when I was doing it at first and I didn't know what I was doing and came across as human, I think is actually a huge benefit. I think it's better to be human to a jury than polished or stand off, whatever. It'd be humble, And that is something that I learned early on, not on purpose, because I was really, I was nervous. I would take Imodium, before I keep in the trial box with me. Eventually, after years, that went away. But that humility of when you're young doing it, not knowing really, everything, is something I think is to a great benefit, and that I try to do, still 20 some years later, as to get back in that mindset of being, always be humble and remember, how it was when I first started, and see it from the human perspective.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, listen, man, I totally agree with you that ego is a big thing. One of our core values here, they hear me say it all the time. Your ego is not your amigo.
That's right.
Yeah. And so it's not going to serve you or your clients well. And so, I having that sense of humility in front of the jury, they can feel it.
They can feel it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. It's palpable. So let's talk a little bit about your practice, your current practice. So, you worked with Buddy Yosha's office for years, right?
Yeah.
Then you started your own firm?
Yeah, and I started my own firm about 10 years ago.
And you've been doing that ever since?
Yeah.
So you probably do a lot of car crashes, right? Yes. Yeah. Slip and falls. Yeah. And you do some other stuff too. Not a lot of lawyers do the civil rights things. We've got Chase Wilson here does that.
Yeah.
And Brandon Tate, you mentioned. Brandon's a great guy. Just had Nick Baker on. Brandon's helping him with his campaign. So let's talk a little bit about some of those civil rights cases and maybe some more memorable kind of verdicts that you've had.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit more.
Yeah, it's an area of practice that I really enjoy doing. They're difficult cases oftentimes. I think the historical success rate is about 6 to 8% chance of winning them because of all the immunities involved when you're dealing with
Say I'm interrupting you. Say it again so that everyone can hear, because you hear some of these people talk about nuclear verdicts and shit like that, but these cases have a low verdict rate, right?
Yeah, 6 to 8%.
Jesus.
Yeah. And even in situations where you think this is absolutely cleared, you still have to deal with all these immunities that are granted to law enforcement. And I got a recent verdict with Brandon Tate, tried to case with them. It's 2 IMPD officers that had showed up to our client's house on a drop 911 call. Like, his grandson was messing around with the phone. There's no actual emergency. So they show up to the house and they're banging on the door. Our client, it's late at night, doesn't know who's there, grabs his gun to answer the door. He opens the door. One thing leads to another. The officers end up shooting and killing him in his living room. Wow. And they had said that he had opened the door and opened fire on him.
Yeah.
And they just returned fire. But the ballistics evidence didn't match up with that. It also didn't make sense. Our client was retired law enforcement himself.
Okay.
And if he's going to open the door and fire, he'd probably do it center mass, not angle it up over their head. So what the evidence showed was that he most likely fired that single shot, after he was struck and after he was already fallen to the ground.
Okay. Did you grow up with firearms? No. So I grew up in a similar house. Yeah, I do too. And similar household that we didn't have any firearms. So that was the one thing you talked a lot about, ballistics and things like that. Have you found this to be a learning experience for you?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yes, the science behind it. So, for example, when our client was shot, there was, as they call it, pseudo-stippling, where the glass travels through with the bullet and creates, cuts and markings on the body. And the officer said that our client opened the door, fired at him, glass shattered in his face, but he could have a mark on him. There's no glass on his uniform. So in the end, what I think probably happened most likely is these young cops, they knock on his door. He answers that he's holding the gun. He's got a gun. Goes on the side of the partner, shot him.
Oh, wow.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing that makes the most sense. But but in that case, the immunity aspect could have sunk us.
Yeah.
But because they said he raised his gun and fired at him, and that turned out to not match up with the physical evidence. If they would have said it looked like he was raising his gun,
Mm-hmm.
he would have been immune.
Wow.
But
Yeah.
because they went the extra step of
They
saying that he fired at him and all that,
Yeah.
it didn't match up,
Okay.
then played the jury by the immunity argument.
So what your argument essentially was a difference in the facts and the facts that they're alleging.
Right. The physical evidence versus the version of events,
Right.
The client's not allowed to tell his version. So
Correct.
we got one version, and the version that they were saying didn't really make sense or jive with the physical evidence as it was presented. So
did you use any kind of animations or anything in that trial?
Did we? Not animation. There was some
Yeah.
I don't know what they call it, but graphics of some of it. But the other side had some sort of animation that
Yeah.
we were able to tear apart. But no, we didn't use animation there.
Aside from the civil rights cases, car crashes, do you do any medical malpractice, nursing home stuff, anything else?
Don't. It's just, as you know, it is a very tough environment to pursue those types of claims for malpractice, and it's got to be one of the most restrictive in the country. I mean, it makes no sense at all. It's just they're too difficult to win.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the damages are capped, that even though they adjusted it recently, that how much a person could get, it's not near with the cost of inflation from however long ago they enacted that law. It's crazy.
Right.
I mean, I think they sold it to people in Indiana saying that, oh, these verdicts are making it too expensive for doctors to practice. It's going to raise the cost of health care. But I've never seen anything that said that these restrictive laws that we have on lawsuits against medical providers has done anything to bring the prices down. If there was any savings involved, I think it went in the pocket of the insurance companies, not passed down to the end consumer.
Right. Right. Well, and I mean, we were just talking to Nick about a similar type of issue, is that when you look at these charge master rates,
right,
and some of the prices that they charge, I could go to ProScan Imaging and pay $500 cash for an MRI. Or go to CDI and then they bill me for $5,000. It's crazy.
It's outrageous.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the lack of consistency, and it's like you said, we've had this Medical Malpractice Act for years now. If the savings were to be had, we would have seen them.
That's right.
We would have seen them by now, but we haven't.
Insurance companies got richer. I don't think that's saving any money on cost of procedures, though.
Yeah, those profits. The profits that Nick was talking about doubling from 80-something billion to 160-something billion dollars.
And in the meantime, you got people that have serious catastrophic injuries that might require $15 million in medical care throughout their life, and they don't get anything.
No.
Nothing.
No.
It goes back to the taxpayer ultimately. It's how to underwrite care when the insurance companies should be paying for it.
Yes. Yes.
It's frustrating.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I argued into the Supreme Court in the Escamilla case, was that these insurance companies are trying to shift the burden for caring for these injuries that they cause, that their insureds cause. They're trying to shift the burden to the Medicaid, to the taxpayers. Yeah. Yeah. So they can avoid it. So, and then they go back to this, nuclear verdicts. We see the verdicts. It's hard enough to get a verdict.
Yeah. No, it's
yeah.
The corporate welfare system in this country is completely out of control.
Mm-hmm.
That's just another example of it.
Yeah.
Where corporations are having the taxpayers underwrite all the things that they should be paying for.
Right.
So,
what has practicing law taught you about people?
That generally people are good, in situations like our clients, they need someone to speak on their behalf and represent their interests against these giant corporations. They're sophisticated, have unlimited resources, and they're hurt. They're trying to put their life back together, and they just want what's fair and what's right. And the insurance industry's insistence on not being fair and not doing the right thing is what makes us have a job.
Yeah.
If they were fair and reasonable, there'd be no need for people like us.
Right.
But for some reason, some calculation, I think they probably figured it out. By doing that to everyone, they still make more money than having to pay the few people who have the resolve and determination to actually fight for what they're entitled to.
Yeah. And it's funny you said that, resolve and determination, and it's not just on the side of the lawyer. The client has to have it too.
Right.
They have to have it. You're going to go try a case. Your client better have that same resolve and dedication that you do.
I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because you get down, a week, 10 days before a trial, and the reality of it starts to set in. It creates a lot of pressure on everyone involved. So I try to prepare them throughout the process. Don't worry about it now, but when it comes time, we'll prep you for it. But you're going to be nervous.
Yeah.
You're going to be put on a stand in a courtroom. It's intimidating for people, and you try to prepare them for it and say, don't, keep your resolve.
Mm-hmm.
Because as much as you're feeling that way, someone on the other side is feeling that way as well.
Yeah.
Even giant insurance companies, they have people that work for them that are still worried about something going to trial, what can happen. And it's how everybody involved feels.
Yeah.
Not just, not them.
So, doing what we do, plaintiff's work is difficult. It's contingency fee based. Being a business owner is difficult.
Yes.
Being a parent, a husband is difficult. So when you have those moments, and we all do, where we get a little overwhelmed and we're just kind of like, why are we doing this? What are some of the things you do to help deal with those moments and get past that?
Yeah. So we talk about the ego issue. I meditate.
Yeah.
In stressful situations. I should do it every day. I know the benefits of doing it every day. But whatever, there's stressful situations or trials, right before I leave the house to go to trial, that's the last thing I do. Do some Zen Buddhist meditation to clear the mind, quiet the ego, and just trying to be in the present moment. As far as activities outside of law, when these are stressful, obviously hanging out with my family and friends, and lucky to have a lot of friends growing up in this area that I've been friends with since elementary, high school, college. So.
My family immigrated here from Cuba after Fidel Castro took over, and this government took everything from my family, and that attracted me to be a lawyer. Insurance companies can be like bullies, and they have a lot of resources behind them. Give us a call here at Hearst Limontes. We are protective of our clients because our clients matter and you matter. At Hearst Limontes, we're a firm that believes in people. We don't just talk about justice or fairness, we live it. The Indiana Fever are trailblazers. They inspire not only in how they play, but how they lead in our Indiana community. Being a father changes everything. Supporting the Fever is one way that I show my kids what it means to believe in fairness, to believe in respect and possibility. At Hearst Limontes, we believe in those same things. The Fever stand for resilience, grit, determination, and heart. They aren't just a basketball team. They're a symbol of what's possible when you refuse to give up. Their impact ripples far beyond the court, and you can see it in the energy, pride, and hope that they create in our city. Whether you're a young girl dreaming of playing in the WNBA or a kid in a small town dreaming of becoming a lawyer, you belong. This partnership is proof of that. At Hearst Limontes, we believe in standing up for those people that are overlooked. From court to court, Hearst Limontes is your winning team.
What keeps you grounded when the pressures of the profession kind of build up?
That it's always there's always gonna be a storm. Yeah. And whether you're cursing at it or just standing there saying, hey, it's just a storm. You gotta get wet. It's fine. You just keep moving forward. Yeah. It's not the end of the world. It's gonna be fun. Try to stay in the present moment, not get too upset, not get too happy, not get too angry.
Do anything.
Do anything. Try to maintain your mellow, I guess. Yeah. And never get too wrapped up in anything. I think that's the fast track to burnout,
Yeah. Maintain your mellow. I like that one. So, our wedding song, my wife and I, was a Bob Marley song, Mellow Mood.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard. Yeah, and it was funny because people were just kind of like, they were really expecting like,
It's great.
Some Neil Diamond or some country song or sort of shit. But, all right. So maintain your mellow. I love that. A couple more questions maybe for our younger lawyers that are listening. How long have you been practicing now?
2003. So it's 23 years.
23 years. Yeah.
We started about similar to the same time.
Yeah. So you've been practicing 23 years. What piece of advice would you give to young lawyers? And I've got 3 of them here just starting their careers. So what piece of advice would you give to them?
Yeah. Do what you like.
Yeah.
And I'm fortunate that I love what we do. And there's a commercial, I think it's that Sam Adams guy, if you enjoy what you do, like you never work a day in the life. That's really true. I mean, that's ultimately number one, I think, is you got to do something that you enjoy or that you feel passionately about. And then it doesn't seem like work. It's something you get to do as opposed to something you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel very fortunate that we get to do this, and help people. It's, I think it's great. So that'd be whatever you're doing, do something that you enjoy doing.
Yeah. And you may have to wander around in the dark a little bit and bump into some walls.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's no, and also when you're starting now, you don't get the best, most glorious tasks either.
No,
it's a lot of discovery and demands. But if it's the profession, if that's something that you enjoy doing, or helping clients, helping people, against these giant corporations that are trying to get over on them, that's why I might enjoy what you do, the mission of what you're doing, because certainly there's a lot of tasks, even still 23 years later, that's not my favorite thing to do. I don't like sitting in depositions where I'm not asking the questions, but that's, as a whole, I love what I do. There's certainly annoying parts, but I love it.
Nothing worse than sitting in a deposition and maybe it's already been a couple hours and they're like, yeah, I'm only halfway done with my outline.
I'm always looking when they have an outline. I don't
how many pages are left in the stack?
How thick is that thing?
You know what? I hate to say it, but I will. I was usually the guy asking questions for several hours. That's how you wear them down. All right. There's my piece of advice for you young lawyers. Take 7-8 hour long depots. You'll finally get something you need out of them. Oh man, no, don't do that. You'll piss everyone off. Well, Jason, if any of our listeners want to reach out to you directly, how can they get a hold of you?
Yeah, shartzerlaw.com. Our phone number is 317-969-7600. We're always reachable.
Yeah, and you co-counsel with other lawyers. You mentioned co-counseling a case with Brandon, and You know, if someone maybe, I know a lot of criminal defense attorneys can get civil cases,
Yeah.
you know, someone listening.
And yes, we co-counsel on a number of cases. It's actually a large percentage of our practices, attorney referrals and attorney co-counsel.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we're similar. And I used to think it was because I'm such a nice guy and everyone loves me.
Right.
But what I'm starting to realize is that, well, we're just lawyers and lawyers really only like each other. So they can only stand each other. Well, Jason, thank you so much. And thank you everyone for tuning in to another episode of Circle City Conversations. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any future conversations.